Moving into a dimly lit rehearsal room, Cole revealed a metallic device that hummed with an unsettling energy. His declaration that he was not from this decade sent a shockwave through Kennedy. Cole explained the dangerous fracture in time and the significance of Kennedy as a pivotal figure in history. The urgency escalated as another tremor shook the building, dust drifting from the rafters. With a resolute touch on the device, Kennedy felt reality dissolve around him, leading him into a transformative corridor of swirling possibilities. The journey through the time stream began, revealing fragments of history rewritten. The stakes were monumental, and with an iron will, Kennedy knew they had to step forward and fix what had been broken. The corridor spat them out with a violent lurch. Kennedy stumbled onto sun-baked concrete, the heat rising in shimmering waves. The air smelled of exhaust, popcorn, and something else, something metallic, like the moment before a lightning strike. Cole steadied him. "Sir, brace yourself." Kennedy lifted his gaze. He knew this place. Dealey Plaza, the open stretch of road, the grassy knoll, the Texas school book depository looming like a silent sentinel. But something was wrong. The crowds were smaller. The motorcade was different, a model he didn't recognize. And the air felt charged, as if the timeline itself were holding its breath. Kennedy's pulse hammered. "This is November 22nd, 1963. Cole nodded. "But not your November 22nd. Kennedy scanned the plaza, the angles, the rooftops, the shadows.
The plaza fell silent. The world seemed to hold its breath. The young man turned, walked away, and vanished into the crowd. "Mr. President," an agent called. "We need to move." The Ambassador Hotel rose against the Dallas skyline like a fortress of brick and limestone, its Art Deco facade gleaming in the late afternoon sun. The motorcade pulled into the underground garage with military precision. Tires, squealing on concrete as Secret Service agents swarmed the vehicles. Before they even came to a complete stop, Kennedy emerged from the limousine, his legs steadier than they had been 20 minutes ago, but his hands still trembled slightly as he buttoned his suit jacket. The adrenaline was fading now, leaving behind a hollow, electric feeling in his chest. Agent Kellerman led him to a service elevator, 2 more agents flanking them, hands inside their jackets. The elevator rose in silence, the only sound, the mechanical whir of cables and Kennedy's own breathing. "The entire floor is secure, sir," Kellerman said. As the doors opened, W cleared the adjacent rooms and posted men at every exit. "Air Force One is being swept now. W will have your wheels up within 2 hours. Kennedy nodded, but said nothing. The suite was elegant with high ceilings, crown molding, heavy drapes drawn against the windows. Someone had already brought in his briefcase and a change of clothes. A phone sat on the desk, its red light blinking with waiting messages. "I will be right outside, Mr. President." The door closed. Kennedy stood in the center of the room, alone, for the first time since Dealey Plaza. The silence was deafening. He walked to the bathroom, turned on the faucet, and splashed cold water on his face. When he looked up, his reflection stared back at him, pale, eyes too bright, a thin sheen of sweat still on his forehead. He had seen the rifle. He had known. But how? The instinct had been so powerful, so certain, like a hand reaching through time itself and pulling him down. He had felt it before in Cuba, in Berlin, in a dozen smaller moments over the past year. A sense of knowing things he shouldn't know, of remembering things that hadn't happened. Or had they? Kennedy gripped the edge of the sink, his knuckles white. There was something wrong with the world. Something changed, and he was at the center of it. A knock at the door made him straighten as Marilyn Monroe entered. She pulled back her hands, framing his face, her eyes searching his with an intensity that made his breath catch. There was history there, messy, beautiful history, stolen moments and whispered conversations, and a connection that defied easy definition. "You scared the hell out of me," she said, her voice trembling. "I scared myself." Peter Lawford entered behind her, his usual easy charm subdued but present. "Christ, Jack, when we heard the news." He shook his head,